All right, Leo. So this really looks like you're going to be having a conversation. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to get some advice that's like easier said than done. But I think what it's going to do is get you thinking about the things that you're letting kind of like fall away in your life, like things that you could have continued to do or still want to do. So reason, listen to advice, think clearly, and intellect, and then you have dissipating. Dissipating is talking about being content to dream about how things could have been rather than taking action. So you may be having, like I said, a conversation here about things that you have done and like where they could have went. But because of this, you may be getting this advice here that's going to help like break through on an intellectual level for you on how, you can continue with something that you have already started. That's what I feel like. I don't think that this is like a dream that you've never made any progress toward. I think it's something that has actually started at some point in your life. But this is like going back and going, yeah, it could have been this way. I could have done this, and you really didn't. And these things are dissipating now. But I think that someone is going to give you some advice that's going to give you this major mental breakthrough. It's like looking at the Ace of Swords, basically. All right, Leo. Here's your overall, the Hierophant. This Hierophant bothers me because it's like, this is how things are supposed to be done. You need to conform to this, and that's not the truth, right? But we could be talking about getting spiritual awareness over the difficult changes you've been through. Again, the Hierophant rolling the fives, right? But this could be the advice that is coming through. But we're talking about, convention, right? Conformity. What is considered acceptable by, society, things like that, right? But it's also about spiritual understanding and awareness. There is a beauty to the Hierophant where there's this spiritual grounding. But we could be talking about, something that you are very committed to, right? Because it's the right thing to do. But we could also be looking at this and saying that it's time for you to break convention, possibly. Now, in the past, the Three of Wands. Okay. So it makes me wonder, though, if you're still waiting, though. So with the Three of Wands, we're talking about, you've taken action here to set something in motion, but this is waiting for something to show up. Now something may be coming towards you, though. But I kind of feel a sense of, hey, I'm over here. When are you going to get here? Now, this could be, though, you expanding yourself and seeking some support, for sure, for a dream or a desire, which is possible. I don't know. I don't feel bad about it. I just feel like this is kind of where you have been for a while with this situation. And the Hierophant could be saying that you're very committed to it, regardless of the fact that, certain things may not be showing up. Oh, shit. The hell, Leo. And the present, the Tower. Shocking change, right? Something has been built up so much that it needs to come down. It can't withstand. Now, for some of you, you may be taking action, though. So if something does show up, it could be you going, you know what, I'm clearing the slate. I'm getting rid of all this bullshit. And I'm doing something different. But for some of you, this could be something that's happening. Like it's out of nowhere. Especially if it's something that you've been waiting on to show up for you. Wow, man. Okay. Future conditions, the Two of Pentacles. So this, I feel like, is you trying to continue to maintain things. Like you're in this like delicate balancing act right now. And it makes me wonder if you don't want things to completely fall apart. This is something that you expected to show up for you in the past. And it does show up all of a sudden, like, boom, here the fuck it is, Leo. And I really feel like with the Two of Pentacles here, there is a question on, are you doing the right thing? Again, what is acceptable? I'm still looking at that Hierophant going, why would you be staying committed to something that is causing such a drastic change that is making you, need to walk on eggshells? Because that's the Two of Pentacles for me. But then there's always that message of you being capable of keeping everything going. But that's out of like complete shock and destruction with the Tower. you know? Now, if you're causing this, this is you needing to kind of like pick up the pieces here and try to figure things out, especially like financially, you know? But I still feel like something is coming through to you. But with the Hierophant, you know, this, like I said, could be assistance, right? But this is a little bit iffy to me. But I want to see what's going on here. Oh, okay. So your best path to follow, the Ten of Cups. You know, I don't want to say here that you have to continue to do what is deemed acceptable in order to make everybody else happy. I think that, you know, in terms of the Ten of Cups here, we're talking about your overall happiness. But I do feel like there needs to be consideration of people that are involved, like family members, right? With the Ten of Cups being there. But I also look at this and think, look, Leo, you know, you're in a place where things are clearly very happy, very fulfilling, right? And this could have to do with a relationship or, like I said, with family. But we are coming to an ending here with the Ten of Cups. You know, things are changing in such a way where if things are not happy, we can't hold up that kind of facade anymore. And I hate saying that about the Ten of Cups. I really do. But with the Tower, there needs to be a focus on your overall happiness. I think that you need to be careful about how much, you know, you're willing to sacrifice in order for the happiness of others. So that's what I want to say. You know, because there's something drastic that's happening here. You know, and then not only that, but there's also this feeling of if what you were waiting for in the past finally does show up, you know, maybe it needs to happen in order to create a better situation. In terms of, you know, again, your happiness, family. You know, I'm looking at that Two of Pentacles going, no. Now, for some of you, though, more literally, like, you know, because I'm thinking about all the shit that's been going on with these constant posts on Facebook about tornadoes and shit. If you've experienced any kind of destruction, right? This may not have been what you were expecting with the Three of Wands. With the Two of Pentacles here, we're trying to manage some money, right? You've got some assistance coming through with the Hierophant. You know, we're talking about something that's going to, you know, make things better for you and your family. You know what I mean? And that could be the case for some of you. But I don't know. I think that this is something, because I'm going back to dissipating, that you didn't think was going to come through. But boom, here it is. Like, wow. Oh boy. Okay. The Seven of Wands in your environment. So this is opposing what is, you know, what you really want here. You may have wanted it before in the past, but I don't think that this is something that you want to have happen right now. You know, because with the Seven of Wands, I'm looking at you kind of like fighting it off, going, oh no, 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 no. I'm not going to allow this to come through and wreck my tower. But the thing is with the Tower, this is all the bullshit that needs to fall away, you know? But yeah, I would say with the Seven of Wands being in your environment, no, because I almost feel like this is something that you kind of give up on, right? Now, for some of you, though, if you want this, if you're wanting this total destruction, or if you're wanting to clean the slate, or if you're wanting something to come through, it may be affecting somebody else a little bit differently. You know, and maybe there needs to be a little bit more understanding from family in terms of what's going to make you happy. Because this is like, oh, no. You're not going to oppose what I want. This is standing up and speaking up for your beliefs, right? But we're still in the balancing act of trying to, you know, keep everything going, keep things peaceful almost, you know? Wow, man. Okay, your hopes and your fears, the Nine of Pentacles. I kind of look at that and think that some of you may be fearing that you're going to be on your own and you're not going to have the support of family or people around you, right? And for some of you, it may be that you need to reach out to these people to kind of help guide you through this. You know, it may be total destruction here, but this is something that you're either fighting off or fighting for. It's one or the other here with Seven of Wands. But I feel like the fear there with the Nine of Pentacles is that you're going to be on your own. The hope is that you're gaining some independence and financial security here and being able to enjoy it, right? But it's interesting because it's all surrounding, you know, this major life commitment with the Hierophant. You know, and I wonder, though, with the Two of Pentacles, if there isn't a choice that is going to have to be made in terms of, you know, what you are willing to let go of or sacrifice in order for, you know, this massive change that's coming through. And I don't think that, you know, it's sacrificing happiness or family or anything like that, you know, but it may be a change in terms of, you know, being happy with doing things on your own. Are you going to be able to do that? You know, it's interesting. And I think a lot of people are kind of in this place right now. Oh my God, if I could talk, right? Of wanting security and independence for themselves and not having to depend on others doing certain things, right? And like, I almost feel like for some of you, you may have been really tired of somebody else not following through because this is what you were expecting in the past. But I don't know. I really heavily get the feeling here that you weren't expecting this. You may have been in the past, but it may have taken quite a while to show up. And when it does, oh boy. But I'm not really feeling too bad about anything here. I just think that you're looking at major changes that are going to be happening in your home life, with your family, your overall happiness. But I don't know, that Two of Pentacles, I'm still looking at that going, Oh, coming out, the Ten of Wands. Why? It's too much. It becomes too much. I think something comes through with a bang. And like I said, for some of you, this is going to be something that you're opposing, or you're either standing up for and saying, this is what I want, even though it's causing this kind of like shock and destruction. You know, but again, with the Tower, it needs to fall away. There needs to be a clean slate on something. I just didn't think that you were expecting it. With the Two of Pentacles, though, you may be moving into a place where you're trying to, you know, make everybody happy, if that makes sense, right? And that's not something that you can commit to, right? Like, I feel like with the Hierophant here, it's about your own spiritual growth and understanding. You know, this kind of situation is happening for a reason, for sure. It is something that you have set into motion. You may not have expected it at this time, but the thing is you can't continue to do two commitments. That's what I want to say, because it's going to become too much. There's going to be too much of a burden on you. There is something that you're going to have to let go or release, because we are looking at you working toward an ending or a completion here, right? But there's always a fucking destination with that card. What do you think needs to happen, Leo, in order for all of the burdens, all of the pressures to be lifted off of you? How long is it going to take you to get there? You know, or are you going to get to the point where you're like, fuck this bullshit, and you just drop it all? But clearly coming out here, these two things are too much. It's too much. And then the World. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. And I'm telling you, man, everybody's getting to this place where like these major completions are happening. So first of all, with this Ten of Wands here, I think that the pressure is going to build up so much so that it's going to become exhausting, and you're going to get to the breaking point. But the thing is when you hit that, and we hit that completion, things are going to come to a close, and there's going to be more success with the World. It's a good thing. So with the Knight of Wands and looking at the Three of Wands, this is something that you did in the past where you weren't really thinking. It was just passion driven. And I'm seeing this a lot. I like this Knight of Wands, though, especially because of the pyramids in the background. I always feel like travel with this, more so than the Chariot. It's funny. But I think that this is the action that you've taken in the past. You know, this speaks to you. And you actively seeking out a passion, but you're waiting for a return. But I think quite some time has passed since this action. And then you have the Tower, and it's like, boom! And with the Nine of Wands and looking at the Seven of Wands, again, there's this very defensive type of energy. There are certain things that you're not willing to allow into your life, right? Now, I do think, though, that some of you are going to be extremely exhausted if you continue to, like, try to hold this off. You cannot keep everybody happy in this situation, okay? This is coming around again with the Tower for a reason here. You know, so you're either fighting it off or you're standing up for what you believe in. But I don't know, I feel iffy about the Nine of Wands because I'm looking at the 10 coming out going, it makes sense. Because you can't keep doing this, right? It's like you built a wall up around yourself and said, I didn't want this to come in. But yet you did at one point. And then again, with the World here, we're leading to this big chapter in your life coming to a close in a very successful way. It's going to lead to other opportunities. And, you know, maybe this is the breakthrough that you needed. And maybe with reason here, you need to listen to the advice of others that are on the outside of the situation. You know what I mean? But I also think that you need to think clearly about, you know, what you're going to do here, the choice that you're going to make. But nobody should have to be in a place where they're carrying so much. And I almost kind of get the feeling with the Hierophant leading out that it's like, well, this is my responsibility. But you have every opportunity here to close this out. You know, but again, there's that destination. What do you think has to happen before you can have the successful completion? But it's still coming. All right, so this situation can flourish, but I think that what you need is assurance that everything is going to be okay. But this is the universe saying, don't worry, Leo, you're fine. Right? This is happening because, yeah, you have set this into motion, but we also understand that this is exactly what you want, right? So it's like the universe saying, don't worry, it's okay, right? But just make sure that you set your intentions, right? Now, with change and compassion, I think that it may be hard for you to get the compassion of others when it comes to the changes that you're wanting to make. But it's more about you needing to have compassion for yourself, especially if you're carrying around this fucking burden. Drop that shit. But you're fine, right? Like I'm looking at this going, this is all meant for you to flourish, to have abundance in all areas of your life, right? To see a situation begin to like bloom and blossom, so to speak. But it's something that I don't think that you expected at all. I think that you stopped waiting for this. And it's like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? And grounding, and I'm seeing this one too. Go deep, explore your roots. Know what is grounding you. What is the grounding factor in your life right now? What are you committing to, right? Grace and gratitude, though, this is about being grateful for the happiness that you have experienced and the happiness that you still can experience, right? But this is also about accepting joy with grace and gratitude. Like, you know what? I'm going to accept this into my life because it is what I want and I am grateful for this. Even if it showed up really late, really, really late. But again, I'm looking at grounding and I'm looking at intentions and you needing to be clear. It's, you know, the universe again is giving you the assurance that you need. But you need to make sure, though, that you understand what your intention is with this moving forward. So just be aware of where your root chakra is right now, for real. But be open with, you know, gratitude here when it comes to accepting this joy, even though it's coming in a very destructive way.